Boyds Gunstocks, Brownells bedding compound, and a new home for our barreled action. I'm Joe Kurtenbach, and this is Lock, Stock, and Barrel. When we're looking at our precision hunting rifle build, we were talking about some of the pluses and minuses of those bargain bolt actions. We talked about the good, accurate barrels, the reliable actions, and the good, crisp triggers that are generally coming on these bargain builds. But where are they saving the money? In the stocks. They're usually these molded synthetic stocks. They are totally utilitarian. They will work, they will be weatherproof, but they just don't look cool. So in building the gun, I definitely wanted to upgrade this not only to a stock that would work and work in all the conditions. We're talking about shooting long range at the range, as well as hunting in some of the toughest conditions out there. So I wanted a stock that could stand up to that, but that also kind of fit my personality. So I turned to Boyds Gunstocks. There are a lot of options out there when it comes to aftermarket stocks. Boyds Gunstocks is just one, but it's one I liked and it's the one I chose for this project. Now the model I chose is called the Prairie Hunter, and it's for the Ruger American Predator model. You have to remember that the Predator model has a slightly larger barrel contour than the original Ruger American, so make sure to specify that when you're looking for aftermarket gun stocks. Got this one in pepper. I think that kind of black and white finish, it's a really cool design. The way they make these stocks is basically sheets of wood laminated together, glued and pressured, and then dried out. So these are waterproof, weatherproof. These are very durable stocks, and because they're made of the wood material, they can carve them to these different contours and add things like combs and engraving. It's kind of a neat system from Boyds. So we chose the Prairie Hunter, which is one of the basic models, but it includes this comb and this kind of extended cheek rest, and that's great for keeping that cheek well during shooting. Helps really get your face in place to make sure you're aligned properly with the scope and make those good shots even in a hurry. And from there we were able to choose some customization options. Now a lot of people, I see a lot of these stocks, especially on like rimfires, they're very colorful, they look cool, but a lot of people don't know that you can get some custom options added for not too much more money. And what I'm talking about is like the laser engraving here. This is the ribbon pattern checkering. It's really cool. They apply it to the forend and the pistol grip, but it's also utilitarian. It helps improve your purchase, especially in bad weather. Some other upgrades we got were the caps on the pistol grip and the forend. We have the line spacers. So it's important to note that while Boyds stocks look cool just as they are, it's also very easy through their website, boydsgunstocks.com, to get these upgrades done to it, to get these customization options done to it. And then you really have the stock that you want that suits your needs and your personality. So once we chose our stock, we actually had to bed our barreled action into the stock. For those who don't know, the Ruger American uses a pretty neat 2 VBlock system to bed their actions into their synthetic stocks. When they mold these stocks, there are actually 2 steel V-blocks that are embedded into the molding, and then the action, just by 2 screws, can be attached right into those V-blocks. The action actually has cutouts and contours on the bottom to fit nice and tightly to these V-blocks. So when we go to an aftermarket gun stock, we have to take that into account. Boyds ships their own versions of the V-blocks. The geometry is very accurate, and actually the front block has an additional lug to make sure that they are, since they're not going to be molded into the stock, it helps make sure that when you bed them, they are very secure. So you get that kind of additional security, especially on that front lug. So in order to bed these, we used Brownells Acraglas bedding compound. Now this is the go-to pretty much for any gunsmith or anyone bedding a rifle. It's been out there for a long time, and Brownells' website, brownells.com, has all the instructions you need, and the kits include all the components you need, and the instructions are very easy to follow. So the first step was with no bedding compound to assemble the rifle. That includes the trigger guard, the magazine latch, putting the action in, screwing it all together, making sure that's all going to fit, because you don't want to start applying the compound and then find out that you've either got the wrong stock or something else is wrong. Once we knew it was all going to work, the next step was to apply release agent, and again, this is included in the Acraglas kit. We applied that release agent liberally to the bottom of the action, to the underside where it's going to engage the blocks, as well as to the screws. Anything we don't want to be stuck when this all settles. Next, we filled the cavities that were going to accept the V-blocks. The cavities in the stock, we filled them with the Acraglas. It's a 1-to-1 compound resin to hardener. We also added a little bit of black dye so that the color would kind of match our theme here. And once we had it all mixed up, we applied that into the cavities. And then we also applied it to the lugs themselves, put the lugs in, the V-blocks in, and then we reinstalled the barreled action and the trigger guard and everything else, tightened it all up, then you just gotta let it sit. So that's where we're at now. It's kind of a waiting game. We're 18 hours in. Probably later today or tomorrow, I will be taking the action out and making sure everything's set right. But looking forward to getting this back on the range. Really, in my opinion, a very attractive stock. It really takes this Ruger American from a very basic bargain bolt action to a attractive hunting rifle. So for more, keep following at AmericanRifleman.org.